First thing, we delete our cube. Shift A, let's use a cylinder. We're gonna use cylinder. Let's go into front view, and here we scale on the Z axis, just to the right amount. Right. Edit mode. Alt select the top and extrude. Just right, just a little, and come to the down part, the bottom part, and Alt select and extrude. And we have to scale it in a bit to give the curvature just right, and add a loop cut just for more curvature. You do a loop cut with Ctrl R, just so you know. Let's go into face select. I'm more of a hotkey user, so if you're really new to Blender, I'll sure to leave links to my Familiarizing with Blender tutorial in the description, and the hotkey guide sheet if I can find it. Let's proceed. Select the top face, press I to insert face. Yeah, insert, just make it very thin. Then we extrude inside, or in this case de-extrude, if that's the word. Good. Let's add a modifier. Yeah, the subdivision surface modifier, just to smooth it out a little bit. We do still need to get the top of the can to stand out, and we do that by adding a loop cut just at the edge, the inside edge. Yeah, that's good. And we can move over to our modifier to increase the viewport, make it more smooth as we wish. And that gives us a basic shape of a can. And let's add in more detail. We're going to use curves, and if you're a beginner, there's an opportunity for you to familiarize with curves. So Shift A, curve, circle. Let's move to the top view, and scale it down. What you do next is you come to this curve section, move over to geometry, and increase the depth. As you can already see, you are trying to make the groove they have at the top of cans. Yeah. So how we're going to do that is by cutting this ring into a can right there. Set it right, just entering into the can, not too deep. Okay, and of course we can scale to fit just right. Excuse my extreme breathing. I think I'm having a little sinus problem. Okay, let's shift select the can, and before that you have to go to the edit section and make sure we have this add-on active, the Bool Tool add-on. Make sure it's active, and yes, as you have it selected, hit Ctrl minus, and that gives us this nice top groove. On to more detail, Shift A, let's add in a curve, circle, bring it up, top view, scale. Now what we're going to do is we're going to edit this, going to make it into a shape. Of course, you do that in the edit mode. Just adjust to get the nice sink in they have. It's really easy to notice the nice sinking they have at the top of cans. Alright, it's just going to be a matter of selecting the point and grab a G to move around and shape it as you wish. Yeah, that's not really much to it. So I'm going to do a little bit of speed work over here. Just about it. Let's scale down a bit, and what we do here is we right click and change to a mesh instead of a curve, and that will allow us to fill this surface. You do a fill with F, just so you know. Let's add a bit of thickness to this. I prefer to use the solidify modifier, but you can go ahead and use extrude surface. Works the same. By the way, these tutorials are based on a progressive format, so anytime you're confused, you could just check out my Blender playlist, so you can just refer anything you want. All right, let's grab and move down into our can, just like we did with the groove. Shift select the can and control minus. Good. Now we're going to make use of a curve to cut out a hole, the outlet for the can. Let's move over to top view, scale it down, and yes, we can position it just right on the edge. Select and bring it down just right, and we move over to our curve section, and instead of increasing depth here, we're going to increase the extrude, and as it was with the groove, just going to position it just right, just entering into it, not too deep. Bring it out a little, just about right. Shift select our can, control minus, and that's what we have. Not quite open. Let's increase the extrude. That should do. Now we can go ahead and shift select, control minus, and we have our cut right there. So more on curves, let's make the cover for the hole. This could be the expandable part, so I'm going to speed this up just a little. There's not really much to it, just make use of the curves, fill the surface, this ring-like hook, and just position it right. Finalize with the control, instead of control minus, it's going to be control plus with the bow tool to join them. That's about that. So next we're going to add in our textures or material or color, however you want to put it. They're not quite the same, but quite relatable. Let's first get rid of these guidelines from the bow tool, and we do that by applying the bow tool, and we can apply that one too. Yes, and that allows us to be rid of these guidelines. We can move them aside without affecting our mesh. If you do not apply, that's going to mess up your mesh when you move these guidelines out. Just basically you're just applying and getting rid of them. You can just delete, select and delete. Now let's add a bevel to the can. just for more detail. You can see how much more detail we have with that. Now the bevel sort of made the groove look weird, and we can fix that by going to edit mode and adding a loop cut just into the groove, just about right into the middle, and that's fixed. Okay, sure, let's add in a plane. Bring it down and scale it up. Let's reduce the scale of our can just a little. Good. Yes, let's reposition our cover. I don't know, I've always feel the cover was an expendable part, but it adds more detail in a way. So let's reposition that. Could give it a bit of a rotate to make it sit at the top, just at the edge, just about right. Good. Come over to material, add in a material, and let's make the color. So sorry, it seems my recorder timed out, so I have to redo this. Okay, material, color, let's increase the metallic value. Let's adjust the roughness just to give it a bit of a shine, metallic shine. If you've tried scratching off a can, you could see it's the base. Every can has this metallic texture. Enough of that, let's go to front view, edit mode, come right in, alt select the middle ring, middle edge, and now control plus 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 to select the edges, and hit the little plus sign. I think mine didn't show here, but there's a little plus sign. Add in a new material, and don't forget to assign. That will allow us to give it a new color. Let's make it red. Of course, you have to be in rendered view to see the new added colors. Assign. Let's assign more edges. Just about right. Good. Now what is left is the adding the text labelings. Let's adjust the color. Let's give it a more golden or brownish gold color. Cool. For the labelings, let's go into front view, Shift A, add in a text, rotate 90, and go to edit mode to let's get the position right first. And going into edit mode would allow us to type in whatever we wish to type in there. Needs a bit more repositioning. Let's bring it forward. nice, and we can type in what we want. Red spark. Now we curve this around our can, and of course we are going to need a curve. Sure, let's add one more light so you can see better. Let's duplicate that and move to the other side. Now we can focus on our can. We add in a curve, a circle curve. Just position it right. Now what we do is we select the text and we add in a curve modifier and set the curve object to the curve we added in, Bezier curve for the Bezier circle. Nice, text is curved out, but we can see it's sort of a mirror image, and we fix that by rotating the curve 90 on the X, and we can pull in, and as you can see that fixes our text, makes it face us. And now we can grab and move our text and scale it to make it as close as possible, make it seem like it's wrapped just around the can. That's about right. Let's move it. Now to save the stress of having to reposition text, just going to duplicate that and bring it down, edit and change that. Let's make a line and reposition. Here, compared to what we would have done if we added a new text, this is way better. Let's change the color. For this, what to do, let's add the golden color. So that's just about it. If you need to edit this color without affecting the previous golden color we have, we just have to click 2 over there and we can edit our color without affecting the original golden color of the can. Let's make some small changes here. Change the text, let's add in caps. Red spark. Oh, caps. Let's add in more metallic shadings to the lime text. Just right. And this wouldn't be fun if we couldn't change the font type. So let's come over to the text, over to fonts, and you could open. Go ahead and make your pick of the font one that suits your preference. Need to readjust. Now let's add in some tiny text at the bottom. Let's duplicate and let's edit. Clear that. Something random. 70 calories. Caps looks better. Scale it down. Make it really tiny. And we can change font. And scale. So you could just make your pick of the font, any font. Yeah, that's better. And so we come to the end. That's it for our tutorial session. Anticipate the next video. And of course, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, to get notified on our next video. And if you like this, just give me a thumbs up, will be much appreciated. And see you guys soon in the next video.